Hello everyone, this is Mr. Work Smarter and welcome to another episode of Work Smarter Talks. I have Junior with me today. Thank you for coming down, sir. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
So Junior, honestly, he done something very different to the usual people. After university, when he graduated, he started up his own business. He actually wrote his first book at the age of 21. And he wrote the book within a month, if I'm correct. Within a month, or was it longer than that?
3 weeks.
Look at that, 3 weeks. And honestly, it's a pleasure to have you because you've been running a business since university and it's a very successful business. We've got a team as well, and he actually runs an entrepreneurial academy, and he has the likes of James Khan, who was on Dragon's Den, Kenya King, that was the Mobile Wars. Like, honestly, I can go on. This guy is doing amazing things, and he's booked. Honestly, I see this guy at events all the time talking to students. So honestly, he's an inspirational guy, and I'm happy to have you on the show today.
Thank you.
So before we begin, I want to dig into the first question though. How did you write a book in 3 weeks, man? And especially you're at university, so many distractions. You didn't want to turn up, have some fun?
Yeah, well, do you know what? It's I knew that university would be a test of my time. So I had to prioritize, and you know, you have enough time in life to do. You don't have enough time to do everything, but you do have enough time to do the important things. So if something's important to you, you find time for it, and I knew that. So you know, if raving was that important to me, I'll find time for it. If meeting certain people was important to me, if setting up my business and writing the books and stuff like that was important to me, I'd also find time for that. If sleeping was important to me, I'll find time for it. So I'm a firm believer of that. But I wrote the book just after I graduated.
Okay.
So it was just after I graduated, and I'd gone to a seminar and seen all these, you know, Tony Robbins and all these people. And, you know, you listen to them, you're really inspired, and you want to take over the whole world. So then I was chatting to some people who tried to sign me up for an author's course, and I thought, I'm cool, I'm already an author, and I ain't written one book yet.
So was it even planned?
It wasn't planned. It wasn't planned. Literally, I just saw the opportunity, seized it. But I thought, okay, cool, maybe I could write a book. And then they called me up and they said, so what's your book? I'm like, because I was just guessing. I was just like, yeah, it's called How to Be a Student Entrepreneur, because I was into entrepreneurship and I was just graduated at the time. So I started talking to them about the book, and they said, send it into us in about a month's time. If we like it, we'll publish it.
Oh, so they set a deadline, that kind of prompted
they thought the book was there. So I got off the phone, I'm like, Lord, I haven't even got a book yet, I haven't written one word, but I need to send something in a month. So I spent the first week turning my bedroom into an office, and the next 3 weeks just writing my heart out. And the book was easy to write because it was all about stuff I was already doing. All about stuff that I already learned. So literally I was just sitting in front of the laptop talking to myself, and it fell into place nicely. Launched it 3 months after that, or 4 months after that, and it's now in 5-6 countries around the world. Wow. And I built a whole career out of it.
No, it's amazing, and it just shows sometimes, when an opportunity is presented to you and you may not have the information there straight away, just do it anyway. Just do it, because you never know where it can go.
Definitely. Pressure can be the best thing for you because it squeezes out the greatness. I thought, I got a book in me, but when I'm 50 or something like that. But then once the pressure came, I thought, right, my integrity's on the line because I promised them a book and my big opportunity.
Yeah, and you don't want to let them down.
So you got to deliver, and that's the beautiful thing about pressure. Most people, they want to run away from pressure and crumble under pressure. Where if you're smart, then you can actually produce your best work under pressure. Yeah,
I actually agree with that. So have a deadline. That is one great advice. Put a deadline and work towards that, because I feel like when you don't set a deadline, you kind of just wander around, take your time, and you procrastinate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic. My next question for you is that what is your most productive environment? Like where do you get most things done?
My home office. So I used to live in Islington, had a home office there. It was a must. I've moved out to Enfield now. I also have a home office there. Literally when I was looking for houses, I was thinking, okay, that's 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom. Okay, I need another bedroom. And like, what do you need another bedroom for? I have to have it's just like a must. It's almost like having a toilet. It's just, you must have that in the house, because that's my haven. That's where I get stuff done, and that's where I can shut the doors and nobody can find me, nobody can interrupt me, and I just go in. So it's a beautiful place because that's where all the ideas are formed, and then that's where things start to happen.
But don't you sometimes have a moment, I want to jump in my bed and relax for a bit?
No, to be honest, do you know, I'm one of those people who I hate being unproductive.
Okay.
I can't go on holiday for too long.
Oh wow.
If I'm on holiday, everyone's always like, yeah, let's stay here for 2 weeks. I'm like, after 3 days, I'm done. You know, I'm recharged. Let's go back into, because I feel like I'll be wasting time. So I always have to be doing something productive, and the to-do list is always endless anyway. You know, So it keeps me busy.
Okay. So what would you say is your biggest distraction at home then?
My biggest distraction would be this.
And it's ringing as well.
It's ringing right now. It's the office. They're calling me right now.
Look at that.
But the thing about the mobile phone, it's a blessing and a curse, because it's a blessing because you can connect to anybody wherever you are instantly. It's also a curse because anyone can connect to you instantly. So I could be in the middle of anything, like an interview right now, where somebody's trying to get hold of me, and it's like that is the biggest interruption. When there's so much stuff happening, so I deliberately put things in place. Like I don't have my email app is on here, but I don't have the notifications.
Oh, you turn it off, yeah.
Yeah, so I only check the emails like probably twice a day, which means when people email me, they probably won't get a response out of like for about 3 or 4 days. Not because I'm being bougie, because I just don't check the emails.
Yeah.
There's nothing in there that is that urgent. If it was urgent, you would call me.
Exactly.
So that I divert everything to email for starters, so I don't get as many calls. If I do get a call, I'm assuming it's probably something quite urgent or something important. But even that, leave a voicemail if it's not a planned call. And when I finish my piece of work, I'll call you back within the hour. So if you don't want to wait 5 days, you could get a call back within the hour. Just leave a voicemail. If you don't leave a voicemail, I assume it's not important. There's some calls that you can't ignore, like your mum, your girlfriend, like that. You'll be in trouble if you ignore those.
Exactly, but no food.
Facebook, to be honest, I need that 10-15 minutes before bed. I'll be flicking through all of that stuff. Instagram, usually it's when I'm doing something that I'll be posting. If I'm really, really busy, there's probably I can't post because I'm super busy doing stuff. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm doing that I don't even get to post.
Okay.
And afterwards you feel like, should I post it? But like the moment's gone anyway. So so usually if I am posting stuff, it's because it's a bit of a quiet period. If I haven't tweeted for a while, or if I haven't posted or been active, then I'm in the lab, something's happening.
Yeah.
So I just sort of disconnect myself from that, and I have my set designated time.
Oh, so you actually schedule it? That's fantastic.
Yeah,
okay.
it's all scheduled.
Cool. Amazing. And my next question for you then is, do you have any productivity tools that you use to help manage your time or help you to maybe get something done?
Yeah. So there are plenty of tools. There are actually some cool apps that I use as well.
Want to share one?
So there's a new one that I've just really been geeking out on.
Okay.
It's quite a controversial one. It's called Blinkist.
Okay, I've never heard of that. What does that do?
So Blinkist, so basically it summarizes books for you.
Ah, interesting.
So I'm a big reader. I'm a big learner. I'm a bit of a slow reader though.
Mate, I listen to podcasts instead.
So you get me? I listen to podcasts or audiobooks.
Yeah.
So that's how I digest. I can finish like 365 books a year, but it has to be on audio.
Yeah.
So while I'm driving, I'm finishing the books and stuff like that. So Blinkist, what this app does, it basically condenses a whole book for you into like a 10-minute summary. So imagine I gave you, hey, read this book and just tell me all about it. The app got a bit of flack because some people say, no, that's lazy and da da.
No, I think it's fun. Listen, I'm going to be downloading it today.
You know, it's I think it's like $3.99. But to be honest, for all the knowledge I'm getting, I basically got all the key points and highlights of the book in a short space of time. So it means I can go through more books because I love learning.
Yeah, learning every day. Everyone says, oh, after university, that's when you start.
No, that's when you start.
That's when you start. Yeah.
That's the beginning.
Okay, cool. And what's been your craziest 24 hours?
Oh boy.
And it could be it doesn't have to be business related, it could be anything personal, something that happened, you're like, oh my.
Do you know what? The 24 hours before going on holiday is always the most interesting. It's always the most interesting because you have to delegate everything. It's the most productive. Like things that you normally take 2 hours to do, you get it done in like 4 minutes. And because everything has to be left in perfect peace before you take off. So whenever I'm going on holiday, it's always the most productive. But there are typical days where I'll be doing, for example, when I first launched the book, I was doing about 3 to 4 talks per day for the first 2 weeks. Because remember, I was part of the publishing campaign as well, so I had to get the book out there. So one day I'm doing a book signing here, then I'm doing a talk here, then I'm doing an interview here, then I'm doing. But I run off that adrenaline. I like that.
Love it, yeah.
I like that, and that's why I can only have like fast-paced people around me because I thrive off that. So it's actually quite good for me.
Okay, cool. And you've actually got another book called Young Fed Up Professionals. Yes. Talk to us about that. What made you write that?
So basically, that was for everybody who didn't read the first book about how to be a student.
Everyone's growing up there.
That's it. So a lot of people, literally that was it. A lot of people who went into the corporate market and into that labour market, and then they realised that, you know what, I'm not happy here, I just know what I want to do, I want to quit my job. But I'm not one to tell people just quit your job, because you know you've got bills to pay, you've now set yourself in a completely different position, you're not living off mum and dad now, so there's a way to do it. So I started coaching people, and I realised I was saying pretty much the same thing to everybody. So I put it into a book, and I outlined 6 different ways, depending on whether you love your job, you hate your job, whether you've got high levels of responsibility, low levels of responsibility, blah blah blah. So it's all in the book, Young Fed Up Professionals, strategies to get out of the rat race, and so everybody fits into at least one of those 6 strategies. And the book has just been serving people amazingly. Every month I'm getting someone tweet me or call me up and say, hey Junior, I finished the book, and a couple months ago, and I followed the plan on this one, and I've left my job now, or I'm just about to leave my job, and this is I've handed in my notice. And it's beautiful because they're not just leaving a job to go into the abyss, they're leaving their job to go into something better, and that's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a very powerful book.
I would definitely be sharing a link to that book on the description box. And my last question, Junior, is if you was to take yourself, you're still young to be fair, but if you was to take yourself back to the age of 21, what advice would you give to yourself?
Focus. Honestly, focus. There's you know, this whole fear of missing out, especially when you're young. You want to do this, you want to do that, you want to do this. Okay. But I realised that I've set up quite a few successful businesses, but there's a common thread between all the successful ones and all the failures. The failures, I didn't give it the necessary time and the required level of commitment. The successful ones, I went through the exact same craziness as I did with all the failures, but I just didn't stop, and I focused in. So the power of focus. I mean, the best way to kill a man's vision is to give him another vision. and honestly, you can achieve almost anything. And one of my mentors, I asked one of my mentors about one of my business ideas, and I said, you know, he's a billionaire. I said, do you reckon this can make $1 million at least? And then he says, any of your ideas can make $1 million. It's got nothing to do with the idea. It's about how much you take it, how far you decide to take it. But any business can be a lemonade stand, can be $1 million business. So with that in mind, I now know it's not about, you know, having the golden egg. It's just about having one egg, making that egg golden. It's not about searching for the golden egg. You can pick any egg and turn that egg into a golden one. And with that said, if I'd done that from the start, I'd probably be billion. Better late than never.
No, you're gonna get there definitely. And honestly, that was so many nuggets. I hope you lot will write notes. That was amazing. And I actually want to add on to that about focus, because in this day and age, young people, they just want quick success nowadays. They don't have any patience, and it's about just keeping your head down and focusing. Listen, it might not work in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Everyone thinks quick success. Do you know what I mean? So listen, it's important to focus and get things done. Yeah,
I mean, it's always a case of, you know, we live in this microwave generation. We want things all snap. But remember, the quicker it comes, the quicker it will also go. That's with relationships, that's with the money, and that's with anything. But if you actually took the time to work for it, you start to learn along the way.
And you learn the process.
You learn the process, which means even if you lose it,
you can learn it again. Exactly. And look, see, this is a busy guy. Look, see, he's getting calls already. He's getting calls. But honestly, Junior, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. I learned so much, and hopefully the viewers will learn so much as well. Thank you, and thank you for tuning into this episode. And remember to work smarter. Take care.